What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Team Fish Knuckles YouTube channel. Today it's another episode of Way Back Wednesday, and we're going to look at something called state championships. Now, state championships were pretty much between uh, Battle Roads and the regional championship. Every state had their own championship, and you would play to see who was the best in state championship. Little known fact, I'm still the defending Mississippi state champion because after I won it, they took away state championship. So I'm still the reigning Mississippi State champion forever unless Pokemon brings it back. But this is a 2012-2013 format. This is 2013 in March. This is Wisconsin, as you can see. This video is provided by Bulldoze. Shout out to Bulldoze. He has a bunch of videos from throughout the years, from 2012 pretty much to now. So check them out. And what we're going to see today is we're going to see a Landorus deck versus Darkrai. Now, Darkrai was one of the best decks in the tie, right? It was not if it was, like, the best deck. There's a reason why it won the World Championship that year. And what we're going to see now is how does Darkrai take down a Landorus EX deck? Now, if you watched the video last week, we know that Landorus is a fighting Pokemon that just needs one energy, and it can punch, do 30 to an active, 30 to a bench. Darkrai is weak to fighting, so it does 60 in... there's, effects to do more damage, stuff like that. So you think this would be a terrible matchup, but Darkrai is actually A-okay with this matchup, and we will see how this matchup plays out today. And yeah, let's look at it, and we're going to see both players set up here, just like we do now. Nothing changes. We're going to flip to see who goes first, and it is Tails, and I think if you won, you go first automatically, maybe? I don't think there's any downside of going first either, because I think you can attack and play supporter cards and all that kind of nice stuff. Look at the top cut mat. Rest in peace. It's still around. It's still around if you want to see Puka's videos. Check them out if you want to see older content. That is something you can always do as well. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how this matchup plays out. How does this Darkrai take against Landy? And as you see, we have the Landorus coming out, attaching a fighting energy, right? It can do 30. I think it's Hammerhead, right? I think is that the attack? I can't. Oh man, now I'm gonna look silly, not know the name of it. But it does 30 to an active and 30 to a bench. A very, very strong card. And I'm pretty sure I can attack. Yeah, Hammerhead's the name of it. So let's attach a fighting energy, right? We see Verbeck City Gym. Gonna do additional poison damage if need be. Skyla, it's the same Skyla we have now. Gonna let you search your deck for an item card and put that into your hand as a trainer item. I think it's trainer. Maybe it's trainer card. So you can grab supporter cards with it. I'm pretty sure. If it's an item card, it doesn't grab supporter cards. So, and yeah, so it lets you grab supporter cards. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. That's the difference. Item versus trainer. Because this is a trainer card, trainer supporter. Whatever this trainer item, that's a different one. So, yeah. We might just see probably just a path. No, I'm pretty sure he can attack turn one. I'm pretty sure he can. And yeah, we're going to see a punch. Look, already 60 damage. 1 energy, 60. What does Darkrai do with this? So random receiver, going to let you flip over supporter cards. Do you find a supporter card? We do see a Juniper. Same we see now. Discard your hand, draw 7 new cards. Very, very strong card. It's been in the game forever. Ultra Ball discarding 2 Verbeck City Gym. So this player knows, like, hey, you only play Verbeck City Gym, so I'm going to go ahead and discard this. And there we see good old Sableye. Now, Sableye has that Junk Hunt attack. Gonna let you grab 2 item cards and put them into your hand. This card is banned because that is how good it is. The Darkrai EX come down. Dark Claw, so you do additional 30 damage if it's attached to a Dark Pokemon. And Juniper discard that Dark Energy, which is going to be really nice later on. And here we see good old Crushing Hammer, the monster itself. Dark Patch coming down. Going to put a Dark Energy on that Sableye. Energy switch up to the Darkrai. Go to free retreat, energy switch back, and so now we have a Sableye in the active spot, and now what we're going to see is we're going to see this Darkrai player start using Junk Hunt, and this is why Darkrai was so strong back then. So we're going to see Crushing Hammer. We're going to decide, looks like maybe a random receiver, and yeah, we're going to get a random receiver, find a supporter card next turn. Now that it might take a knockout, and they will see Catcher. At Catcher, what it says, hey, just bring a Pokemon from bench to the active. And that's what we see here. Just bring up that Darkrai. Gonna do a new 30. Gonna put 60 on it already. That Darkrai is at 120 HP. Catcher, you don't have to flip a coin. It's just bring up one of your opponent's Pokemon from the bench to the active. We see a Crushing Hammer again. And it is another Tails with a Crushing Hammer. Oh, crushing. And we do see random. So you're going to grab that Juniper again. Going to discard the hand. Draw on 7. If we do see that come down, we'll see if that does or not. Energy switch back to the Darkrai. So that's the third energy switch already. Wow. And there's an end. Going to shuffle, get both players new hands of Sex. Now, we know that the player on the left had Juniper, but maybe their hand was like really good. It didn't want to discard things. And plus, all you really do is attach energy. That Landers does not get knocked out. It has 180 HP. It's not going to get knocked out immediately. So he's fine with just setting up. Sableye comes down. Now, if you're wondering what's happening while the Darkrai is retreating for free, it has a Dark Cloak ability, giving a Pokemon with Dark Energies free retreat. So that's pretty cool. We see the Sableye coming back up. And we see it looks like Crushing Hammer, of course. We want that card back in our hand. And maybe Energy Switch. Okay, it looks like another random receiver. All right, so we do see another Landorus EX come down. We do see a Fighting Energy, which can go for a Land's Judgment, does 80. And they receive N, going to put both players at 6 new cards. Shuffle up, draw as many cards as he has prize cards remaining. Neither player is taking a prize card just yet. So both players will get 6 new cards. All right. And we see we did draw a Crushing Hammer this side, so that's pretty nice. And I imagine you're looking for catcher on the left-hand side. If you bring up that Darkrai, can punch it in the face, do 160, because you do 80 base. Now, if you discard all the energies, you do additional 70. And it looks like he's trying to bait. I think you bring up this one, and you just, like, punch it for a knockout. Yeah, there we go. I think that's the correct play. This was already heavily damaged. I'm going to save it. And yeah, might as well just take a knockout while you can. Going down to 4 price cards already. It's not looking good for Darkrai, right? Looking terrible, right? So we see a Crushing Hammer again comes down. And it's another Tails. My goodness, this flipped 3 Tails so far. That's insane. This Landers was able to manually power up and be good to go. Bike, go to draw. You have 4 cards in your hand. I wonder if that one card was good enough. That's the question. Was it good enough? We do see a Juniper, so he can play the Juniper, discard the hand, and that's what we're going to see here. It looks like he did discard a Dark Energy and another Juniper, and I'm not sure what the other card was. Another Dark Patch will come down to that new Darkrai. Now, that Darkrai is very scary. You don't want to promote it because it will get punched in the face for a knockout. I can discard all Fighting Energy, putting him down to 2. If we see that. That is the question. Will we see that or not? There's a laser here. And this is a big flip here. So heads, that Landers is asleep, and it will take poison damage because Verbig City Gym is out. So it will take an additional 2 damage counters, putting up to 3 every single turn. And this is where Verbig City Gym comes from this stadium card right here. From this stadium card. If you're ever curious why there's a Pokemon group called Verbig City Gym, it's because of the stadium card. We do see Junkon getting back the laser, getting back Crushing Hammer, and let's see, and the Landorus, it's awake. All right, so the Landers will take 30. Wow, another catcher coming up. That's the 3rd catcher we see here. Going to take a knockout. You don't have to discard the... Oh, you do have to discard the energies now because you only do 80 unless he played the laser. Laser could take a knockout here, right? So we see Ultra Ball, discarding Ultra Ball at a Mewtwo. Okay, we see another Landers. Just pounding up the Landerses. Just powering them up. And we see a Skyla here. Skyla, maybe grab a Sycamore or Juniper for next turn, maybe. That could be really good. If we have a way to get energy, I know. It's going to get a Juniper. Going to get the Juniper. Going to guarantee the support card for next turn. Looks like they didn't have one in their hand. And looks like let's see, what do we see here? And actually, we are going to discard the energies. Okay, so we're going to discard the energies, take a knockout. Okay. Let's see what happens here. So that Landers does take additional damage. Maybe he's thinking, you know what? My Landers is going to get knocked out anyway if a new Darkrai comes up, so I might as well discard the energies while I'm at it. I think I would have saved the energies and just like play the laser 160 plus the Verbeek is 190. So that could be something that could have changed. So, but even then, like I said, maybe he's thinking, you know, my Landers will get knocked out. Might as well discard the energies while I'm here, right? So save the laser, maybe that was the plan. And a Max Potion comes down. Now Max Potion, it's gonna heal all the damage off that Darkrai, which is a pretty big turn of events now, because now the player on the left side has no energies, and the player on the right has no damage Pokemon, and this guy has a Landorus that's taking damage. So we'll see what the play on the left and right do. So laser comes down, heads, that Landorus will go back to sleep, and there is an inn. Now this inn is what dreams are made for, because this inn can either make you super happy or super sad, depending on what you draw, because the player left is only going to get 2 cards. And if this Landorus stays asleep, it will keep racking up damage. That is a big thing to note. So we'll see if this Landorus stays asleep. We'll see a Dark Hall attach the Darkrai. Okay. And it looks like we see a Junk Hunt get back a Crushing Hammer and a Laser. Just going to keep, the 2 most crucial items probably in this Darkrai Sableye deck. Those are your biggest 2 items. We do see a Poison, and we do see a Flip. Got a Flip. And heads, that Landorus does wake up. That is huge. And we see a Scramble Switch, actually, going to heal that Poison off. Energy will get back 2 Fighting Energies. And we're going to see a Hammerhead here doing 30. See what these damage go to. They could go to Sableye, and yep, we're going to go after the Sableye. Try to knock him out. We see a Dark Patch, taking Dark Energy to the Darkrai. We do see a Crush Hammer, and it is another Tails. I don't think these Crush Hammers have flipped a single head so far yet. Laser. Okay. Dice are flying everywhere. Tails, so that Landorus will take Poison. Okay. And what's going to happen? These Sableyes are at 70 HP, so they do not get knocked out next turn, just to let you know. But, I mean, that is still a big deal. So we see the Darkrai retreat. Now, this Darkrai can't get knocked out. That's a big thing to note. This Darkrai can't get knocked out. And then it does 90 plus 30, so 120 plus the Poison. It brings up to 150, if I did the math right. If I remember everything, 6, 12, 140. So it must be 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Maybe it does Dark Claw just plus 20? It's been a minute since I've seen Dark Claw. Let's see if I can pull it up real quick. Dark Claw Pokemon. Okay. It is 20 more. Okay, so that's right. That's right. Because then you could snipe for 30 on Keldios for knockout. That's what it was. All right. So we see, even though the Landorus is taking poison damage stuff, it doesn't get knocked out. It goes up to 170, so it's still okay. The Sableye would take 30 more damage, bring it up to 60. So we'll get knocked out next turn with a Hammerhead, and we've got a lot of damage going on here. Got a lot of damage going on. So see what the play on the right does. So we can let the Landorus get knocked out via poison, which is very nice. If we want to go about it that way, we can free retreat, set up Sableye, Junk Hunt this turn if we want to, let the Landorus get knocked out. We know there's a Fighting Energy in this hand, and so what we're going to do, play the end, get rid of those Fighting Energies out of his hand, saying, hey, you don't need those. You don't need those Fighting Energies. Those are overrated. And we also get 6 cards as well, too. If you play the end after you take a knockout, you only get 4, which could be a really big difference. We see the Sableye come up, and we're going to see another Junk Hunt here. So let's see. Looks like he's eyeballing the max potion. The Landorus doesn't get knocked out right now. Yeah, it does. It does. Sorry. So it did 140, come back 170. So now it's up to 200. So the poison will knock it out. And let's see who gets it up. The Landorus with no damage on it. Max potion just going to fling that damage off. And Bianca going to already have 6 cards in the hand. So this is another big deal here. And if we find an energy, we can do damage here, do 60 here, and be good to go. Do we find an energy? Does not look like it. Looks like we will see a laser, though, so maybe saving that laser did help. I think they're trying to say, do I need a flip? Who cares? So down to 1 prize card on the play on the left. Play on the right. It's got a lot to do here. Got to take 4 prize cards. And that Sableye has 40 HP left. Ultra Ball discarding double Dark Energy. Gonna grab Keldeo with that Russian ability. It's bring for the bench to the active. Going to attach a Dark Energy. Going to give a free retreat with that Dark Cloak. This is a pretty good combo here. It makes it where, hey, if your active is asleep, be hypnotizing laser. And there's a coin flip for laser. And heads will put that Landorus to sleep. Now, this is a really big deal. Because if that Landorus stays asleep, I mean, we can go down to 2 prize cards. And that, Darkrai will not take damage. We see an end. Going to put player left at 1 card. This is what I'm saying. This is where ends are, this is where dreams are made of. Putting your opponent at 1. What is that 1 card, That's a really big deal. We do see a Night Spear come out. Dark Spear, Night Spear. You know what I mean? 170 come down, or 140 coming down altogether. Going to flip. And Tails, that Landorus does stay asleep, which is a really, really big deal. Because if that Landorus woke up and we had a fighting energy, we could do 30 here, 30 here. Next turn, this Landorus could do 30 and 30 for the game. Wow. All right. These coin flips come in very, very crucial when they need to, right? When we flipped all tails on Crush Hammers, didn't matter. Lasers, that's where it's at. Laser flips, oh my goodness. So Buffon comes down, heads, that Landorus does wake up, but it will get knocked out this turn for sure. Random receiver, gonna flip over till we find a supporter card. What do we find? It looks like we didn't find anything actually. Looks like we're out of supporter cards on the play on the right, unless they have more in the hand. This deck just played, as you see, just Junipers and in, and that's it. No need. There's your catcher. Okay, there's Juniper. Going to discard their hand, draw 7. What cards are we looking for here? What cards are we looking for? Let's see here. Let's see if we can figure it out, guys. And looks like we see a Dark Energy to the Keldeo. All right, we see a catcher bringing up the Landers on the bench. And we're going to do 109 to 11. Bring up to 140 and take a knockout here. So that Landers is supposed to be dead. He's gone. And there we go. So it didn't matter that Landers was gone. But yeah, that's crazy, right? Play on left had it, was doing so well, and then all of a sudden ends and lasers. That was Darkrai's secret recipe, right? Being able to Sablon, Junk Hunt, bring back those item cards over and over again, bringing back those lasers, bringing back those crushing hammers. This is what made Darkrai such a strong deck back in this format. And even going to Worlds in the National Championship, Darkrai is just so consistent, so strong, and just be able to junk hunt back anything you need and pretty much just take control of games. And that's what we saw. We saw that here in game number 1. Now, game number 2, let's see what happens. Do we start Landorus again? And no, unfortunately, we start Tornadus EX. Now, Tornadus EX has attack. It does blow through. It does 30. If there's a stadium card out, it does 30 more damage. We do see an in. We see a laser. There's a lot happening on the player on the left. Yeah, blow through does 30. The stadium card does 30 more. Power Blast does 100. Flip a coin of tails. Discard energy attached to this Pokemon. So Power Blast does 100. I guess it's just a good water attacker probably. We do see a fighting energy going into that, and we do see a blow through. Does blow through need a DCE? Yeah, blow through needs a DCE. All right, so energy search. So that Sableye taking damage to is actually pretty critical because if the Sableye stays active and Verbic stays active, it means Sableye gets knocked out, go back into this player's turn. So that's it might not be that big of a deal, but it could be a big deal. It could be. It could be. So we'll see what happens. We do see energy search. Going to search for dark energy. Same energy search we have now since like Fossil. It stayed the same. Laser here. Tails. Okay. Once again, flipping tails. We see another Darkrai come down. We do have a catcher in hand. I don't think that makes any difference. I think you want this in the active spot. Let that poison damage start stacking up. And there we see an in. So both players so far playing in, shuffling up, getting 6 new cards on both sides. You got to play supporter cards. That's pretty much where we're at. And we do see a hammer. And hammer goes... Nope. Again, I don't think we've seen a single hammer flip heads. Another laser trying to keep that Tornadus asleep, I think is what we're trying to do here. And there we go. Heads. It did go to sleep. We'll switch out dice. That's fine. And we'll see a Junk Hunt to get back. Crushing Hammer and Laser. Now, that Sableye does get knocked back going back into his turn, which is a big deal. 30 damage going to the Tornadus. Skyla. Let's see what the Skyla gets here. What does the Skyla find? Looks like we're going to see Ultra Ball. Ultra Ball going to discard. What are we going to discard here? Let's see. We discard a Switch. And we discard a Fighting Energy. Now, that Tornadus does only have 170 HP, which is pretty significant. We saw how Lander was able to survive with 10 HP, depending on the situation. So this is actually a pretty big deal that has 170 instead of 180. We see a Fighting Energy going to Landorus. We see a switch into the Landorus. And we're going to start punching Darkrai's. That's what we're going to do here. We're going to take a knockout, go down to 5, do 30 to the Darkrai. And we see a Dark Patch. Let's see. Crush Hammer tells, okay. Laser, heads. Landis will go sleep. And Ultra Ball just going to catcher and a Dark Patch. Okay. Get a Keldeo for that rush in and retreat effect. Like I've said, be able to rush and retreat. It's really, really good here. Oh, okay, maybe not. Hold on, we're deciding. I still think it might be okay play. Yep. So Keldeo will come down. I think you definitely get the Sableye out. But I think getting the Keldeo out first to get that rush and retreat if need be. Let the Darkrai that already has damage take a hit instead of the other one taking 60. And let's see, what do we find? I see an Ultra Ball discarding Double Dark. There's Sableye, okay. Sableye could maybe go for Junk Hunt. You do need a couple pieces here. Because you can attach a Dark Energy to Sableye, but the others... You can attach energy to Keldeo, but Sableye needs the energy or vice versa. And we're just going to pass here with that laser. And Tails, once again, that Landorus staying asleep is such a big deal. We do see catcher bringing up Keldeo, laser. Now, this is actually a pretty big deal because if the player on the left flipped heads and the player on the right flipped tails, then Keldeo would, take damage. Be poisoned, it can't retreat. So that's actually a tactic that people would use back in the day. They would bring up the Keldeo, and it's a really good tactic, obviously. You bring up the Keldeo, try to poison it, put it to sleep, make it where the Keldeo can't retreat. So that's where that's a really good play there. DCEB attached to the Bouffalant. Now, Bouffalant does have a Gold Breaker attack. It does 60. If it's an EX, it does 120 more, 120 more. And we see an enhanced hammer play and thinking it's a catcher, and it wasn't. It was a good old enhanced hammer. Discarding the DCE. Not only did this deck play Crush Hammer removes basic energies, you play E-Hammer to discard special energies, and that's what we see here. Alright, so we see Juniper discarding the hand, drawing 7. Let's see, what does the player on the right find? Finds a Dark Patch, going to put it on the Darkrai. We see attachment. Now this is a really big deal because this Darkrai is about to take a huge knockout here. It will do 90 plus the poison, 120 plus the 60. It's 180, putting 30 on the Tornadus EX. Bring it up to 60. Yeah. That's crazy. That's how good, like, that poison just staying there. And now, let's see. We see a DC and a Bianca for 6. So we'll see 100 damage come to this Darkrai. But it can get knocked out next turn pretty easily here. So we'll see what happens. Because it only has 110 HP. And that is just a Dark Claw plus, knockout, right? It's a Dark Claw knockout. So 100 damage coming down. Did discard the energy. Dark Energy to Darkrai. Let's see what happens. We'll see an energy switch to the Darkrai. Will we see a switch? Somehow we've already attached, already Dark Patch. Random receiver. Going to flip over till we find a supporter card. And there is Juniper. And you do see the A-Spec of choice on the right hand was Computer Search. I don't think we talked about that at all. But A-Spec was a card you can play in your deck. Only one of. It's kind of like that new sparkling cards that are coming out. I forget what they're called. And we're going to play the laser. It didn't flip because with the poison, you already take a knockout 30 to the Landorus. Oh, man. And then we see Max Push. Get rid of that damage. Fighting energy coming down. And now the tides have turned because now the player on the left gets 4, but the player on the right only gets 2. Now this could be a really big deal. We haven't played laser just yet, but if we find a laser, this could spell a knockout. And it looks like we did not find a laser here. Another Tornadus EX will come down. And we're just see a Hammerhand doing 60 to the active, bring it up to 160. And where does the 30 go? To the other Darkrai, of course, right? Trying to just knock out 2 EXs to win the game, right? 4-2. Let's see what happens. Now, we have a fully powered up Darkrai 2 energies. I don't think there's a way that this Darkrai can get knocked out next turn while this Darkrai gets knocked out too. I don't think that's possible. But it could. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Let's see what we got here. What else we got going on? It's like we're passing out gum to everybody. Everybody wants some. Oh, there we go. Oh yeah, look at that. Oh yeah, that was amazing. Everybody got a piece of bubble gum there. Going to Night Spear, dude. 90 to the active, 32 tornadoes. Another Max Potion will come down. You do have to discard the fighting energy. They receive a laser and an N. So that Darkrai will get knocked out. They are flipping, saying, hey, you got to flip a coin at least. So we will see a knockout for sure. That Darkrai will get knocked out. Play on the right only gets 2. Play on the left gets 4. But it looks like they did not finding an energy here. Yeah, it's a pretty big deal here. Not finding energy, not be able to attack here. We'll see a knockout going down. Well, I think it should have been 2 prize cards. Oh, they only took a. Oh, they only. Yeah, yeah. They knocked out a non EX Pokemon. So wow, yeah, yeah. I forgot they knocked out a non EX Pokemon to start. So this is looking pretty bad because now, I mean, that Lander's got 90 damage. I don't think it's going to be able to one shot this Darkrai. Like the max it could do is like 90 this turn, bring it to 150 unless it stays asleep. But Keldeo could just rush in there, save the day, and it's not looking too good. So we see a fighting energy. We see an escape rope here. So escape rope is a pretty big deal. Looks like we might see Sableye come up. You don't want to promote Keldeo because Keldeo could be put to sleep. And we see the catcher bring it back up the Darkrai. See the laser. Now, I think I would prefer the Keldeo to come up and try to put that asleep just for the reasons we were talking about earlier. You do 60, bring it to 90. Next turn, go back to you. 120, right? And then maybe you can like hypothetically take a double knockout or something, right? So I think bringing up the Keldeo might have been a better play, just a little bit. But we'll see if it even matters or not. We see Mewtwo come down. Now, Mewtwo does have X-Ball attack that does 20 times the amount of energy attached to both Pokemon. So right now it does a base of 100 with the DC and 3. So we'll see a... Ooh, okay. So this is actually a pretty big turn because the Tails, right? That's a pretty big deal. But what can happen here next turn is play on the left can actually take a... well, no. It can't, actually. So this Kyoto rushes in and saves the day. Oh, the poison didn't get stacked. Okay. So now we just need to take a knockout on these two. Laser, knock this out. And that Darkrai did stay asleep. So this is what I was talking about earlier. That Keldeo could have rushed. We could have brought that Keldeo up and maybe been, take a knockout that way. We'll see what happens. Okay, we see catcher bringing up the Landy. There we see Juniper discarding the hand, drawing 7. And we have the Dark Energy, which means that Keldeo can rush in, then retreat, take a knockout Landers, and take the game. So the player on the right will become Wisconsin State Championship of 2013. And once again, that is the power of Darkrai, right? You see these two decks, right? You see this single prize, or not single prize. You see this one energy attachment Landorus deck, right? You need one energy. That's all you need is one energy. A Darkrai needs 3. It's so much to set up, but with power of Dark Patch, getting Dark Energies from your discard pile to your bench Pokemon. Lasers, poison plus sleep. You got the Crush Neighbors for disruption. And not only that, you have a card that can bring back any of those 2 cards that are so toxic. And I mean, now we see why Sableye, of course, is banned in the expanded format. But I thought this was a pretty cool game to show off State Championship, right? Something we don't have anymore. Show off how good Sableye was. This deck would have not been as good if we did not have Sableye. If Sableye was not in this deck, there's no way this match would have happened, right? Because, the lasers, once they're gone, they're gone. You can't get them back. Sableye saved the day, getting it back, made this deck so good, and I'm happy to show it off. But guys, hope you enjoyed the video. If you want to see a different Way Back Wednesday, even if it's a certain match you want me to showcase, let me know. I'm down to showcase anything. But yeah, hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Hit that subscribe button. Hopefully you learned something new. And I'll see you tomorrow for Expanded Thursday. Alrighty. Bye.